Welcome once again to another episode of the Random Access Podcast, brought to you by ripodcast.net. This is episode 821, recorded live on January 18th, 2025. And here are your hosts, the man who will be at work on Monday, Dave Pillay.
Hey, that's me.
And the man who is glad he is not working on Monday due to the weather, Andy Lowe. Hi.
Is it going to be cold on Monday for you?
It is going to be gosh darn freezing. I think this is the coldest it's going to be in the last 6 years, is what I've read some places.
Yeah. It's supposed to get pretty darn chilly here.
Yeah, let's look at the current forecast. Forecast. Go. Thank you, NWS, while you're still around.
Is the National Weather Service going away?
One of the things on the chopping block.
The Doge chopping block or some other one?
Or Project 2025 chopping block. I don't know. It's probably on somebody's chopping block. Because why give people access to the weather?
No, that's not true. It's why give people access to the weather for free.
Ah, yes. Yep. Coldest daytime temperatures since 2019 coming on Monday and Tuesday. Wind chills down to minus 15, which the last time it was near this chilly, Isaac's school was, I think, closed for 4 days, 3 days, 4 days.
Wow.
So I'm not working on Monday. I have a feeling
that Isaac's not going to school on Monday.
I have a feeling Isaac is probably not going to be going to school on Monday. So I don't have to take the day off because it's a state holiday. So don't have to burn a PTO day for that.
Lucky. I have work. We don't have Martin Luther King Day off.
No,
we have New Year's and then Memorial Day and then the 4th of July and then Labor Day and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas. I think those are our holidays.
I could take off all the state holidays, plus we're getting in the next contract, we're getting an extra day that we can do for a religious observance that is not part of the official state holiday list.
Standard holiday, a flex holiday.
Yeah.
Yep. We do get one of those. I do have opportunities for flex holiday.
Yeah, so we're getting another flex holiday on there, so that should be good.
Nice.
Yeah, no, tonight, low of 17. Tomorrow, high of 16. Low of -1. Monday, high of 7.
Yeah.
Low of 1. Tuesday, high of 3. Low of -6. Wednesday, high of 16. Low of 11.
That's cute.
So I'm thinking
that's adorable.
Monday and possibly Tuesday.
Sorry. So what's the lowest low that you had in there?
-6. -6.
Okay.
Oh wait. I should probably look over at Madison, shouldn't I? Because Lake Michigan is going to
insulate.
Yes.
Lake Michigan insulates. Tomorrow.
Oh Jesus.
Is a low of -4. This is without the wind chill, by the way.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
The expected wind chill is in the -20s.
Oh boy.
And sustained wind.
Well, I do have to say though, you have a garage.
Yep.
And you have sort of enclosed parking at work.
I mean, we have entirely enclosed parking at work.
Yeah.
It's all the parking is underground.
Okay, so yes. So
oh yeah, I'm not going to be out in this bullshit. Other than we need to walk the dog.
Which does Laz like cold?
Laz likes cold. I don't know if Laz likes that cold.
Yeah. I ask, as does the husky like cold?
Does the husky dog like the cold weather? Yeah, kinda. He tends to enjoy it.
I was talking to somebody, and was it Berry County Sheriff's? I think I was talking to one of the Berry County Sheriff's guy when I was doing that whole key changeover thing, which, oh boy, that was fun. Has a husky, and he had the husky out in the cold, and somebody called the animal
control and police.
Yes. And of course, the guy knew the address, and he's like, wait a second. And he just calls up the guy on the phone. He's like, you got some people complaining about your dog. And he's like, it's a husky.
I can't get him inside.
He's happy as a clam out there. If he gets cold, he just digs himself a little nest.
Yep. Yeah, it's the curse of the husky is that, like, they go outside and you can't bring them in if they don't want to come in. Like, they'll come in if they want to. They generally don't.
Yeah.
But it's so cold out there. Yeah? If you're cold, they're cold. No? They have fur.
Do they have the under fur and then like an overcoat too? Okay.
Yep, huskies have an undercoat. That's how they can handle that cold.
I learned about that talking with Isaac with his Highlights magazine, because there was a small section about polar bears, and they had talked about how polar bears have 2 different layers of fur and a whole bunch of fat.
Yep. Huskies don't have the whole bunch of fat. Yeah. They have the 2 layers of fur, the undercoat and the overcoat. And the overcoat is made up of what are referred to as like guide hairs, which is, I don't know what they're supposed to be guiding, but they're called guide hairs. And the idea is it actually traps a layer of air in the fur. And so that layer of air is an insulator.
Yep, just like a down jacket.
Which is why when Laz gets a bath, he is very unhappy. Because all of a sudden he's like, wait, why am I cold? I'm like, sorry, buddy, the water's cold. It's coming out of the hose. Yep. Like, I don't like this. No, he rather enjoys the cooler weather. When it gets to be below 0 Fahrenheit, we do put his booties on.
Well, yeah, because you got to keep the pads.
Yeah, that's really cold.
Yeah, especially if you're on cold. Yeah, if you're on sidewalks pavement. And pavement. Yeah, no, you got to keep the booties on. Get the pads. But yes, no, I'm supposed to technically be working on Tuesday to look at a couple of state trooper vehicles at the post that doesn't have a garage. So,
oh no.
Part of me is like, oh no, if Isaac has to stay home on Tuesday, what am I going to do?
Oh no. Whatever will you do, sir? When you have to call into work.
So I don't have to go work outside on police cars.
In the freezing cold.
Yep. Yeah, any of the other posts all have garages, but not that one.
Tell them to bring the cars to a garage.
Oh, where did we take them when we did the big dash camera install? We took those to the casino.
I was kind of joking, but if that's an option, like, dude, do it.
No, I don't have the contact for the casino. I'll have to talk to my supervisor. He probably would have the contact to the casino. But nothing like having state troopers pull up to a casino.
Yep. It's going to be cold.
Yes.
It's going to be real cold here. Yeah, when you were saying, like, it's going to be -6 at the coldest, I'm like, okay.
Yes, I forgot.
It was that last week. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Today actually was nice out. We actually went out for a walk. Well, Kate and Isaac went out for a walk. Mm-hmm. And then Megan was like, how come we're not going out for a walk? And I'm like, because I didn't want to go outside. We already did our adventure. We went to Lowe's and built a toy snowplow. Ooh. Yes. Which, no joke, they had nails that were literally only about, I'd say about 4 millimeters in length, 5 millimeters in length. They had these short nails that were super short. Mm-hmm. And we had to use those to try and nail the windshield of the snowplow to the body. When you have nails that short, you can't even hold them.
Yeah, what do you hold them with a tweezer?
Well, I basically just held my thumb in position and literally just hammered my own thumb enough to get it to stick.
Andy, I feel like there's a better way.
Well, it turns out that actually there is, because I belong to some of the Lowe's and Home Depot kids Facebook groups, mm-hmm. where all the parents come and, talk about the projects and gripe as well. And everybody was griping about the windshield. And somebody's like, do you know if you take that little black part off the bottom of the hammer, that's actually a magnetic nail holder? And all of us are like, wait, what? And I just looked on the Lowe's website, and yes.
And it tells you to do that?
There is, the hammer that they give us is the, what do they call it on the website? The Build and Grow Kids Hammer. It's a little 4-ounce hammer, and the little black part on the bottom unscrews, and there's a, magnetic wedge with a V, kind of like a magnetic claw hammer sort of look, that you can use to hold the nails in place.
Oops.
I see that, I'm like, son of a bitch. Literally, I'm smashing my own thumbs with a hammer just to try and get the stupid little tiny nail in. And all I could have done is unscrew the bottom of the hammer. And I might just go, it's a $4 hammer. I might just go buy one and just keep it in Megan's tool bag.
Just to have?
Just to have, because the hammers, well, I gotta get the screwdrivers too from Home Depot. Sometimes the tools that they have out on these things are not the best tools. It's like somebody put a flathead screwdriver out and the only screws in the project are Phillips, and you're like, really, why do I even have this screwdriver? Who even thought this was a good idea to put the screwdriver out here? So
you want to have your own tool belt to bring with you?
Well, Megan got an actual little toolkit from going to the Lowe's ones 12 times over the last year or so, year and a half. So she actually has a blue tool bag that actually has her name on it that she got for free for going to all these workshops. So
neat.
Yeah, she wanted to bring that with her today, which was kind of nice because the guy in charge this time hadn't seen these. He did the whole. He did the whole thing with like giving out the badges and actually like, getting all the stuff organized. But he hadn't actually seen one of the tool bags in person. So it was kind of nice. But yeah, no, we did our adventure. We came home. We had pretzels. I stopped by the mall and get pretzels.
But she wanted to go on a walk because Kate and Isaac were out.
Yes. And it was like, fine, we'll go back outside. And the entire time she's just like, we're going on a person hunt.
What?
I'm just like, what?
What?
Going on a person hunt? What is this?
Where did that come from?
I don't know. And then she was like, Daddy, you need to repeat after me. And I'm just like, okay. So we're just walking down the sidewalk. She's like, going on a person hunt. And I'm just like, I'm going on a person hunt. We're gonna find the mommy.
Wasn't the random topic like 2 weeks ago something about your kids kidnapping me?
No, it was the building a catapult.
Oh, trebuchet, a catapult with David size.
Yes.
Yeah, and now we're going on a person hunt.
Yes. No idea where she got that one from, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah. That's all I had on that one. So yes, no, to recap, Monday, going to be cold here, way colder over there, but most likely if history
it's
repeats
always cold
itself
over here.
Yeah, if history repeats itself, you're
going to have some kids at home.
Yes. Or what?
Yeah. Well, it depends when it gets cold. Cuz like the whole reason to cancel school because of the cold is because they can't have kids waiting for the buses.
Yes.
Right. If it gets too cold, you can't have the kids outside waiting for buses. It's too dangerous.
Is there an hourly forecast here? Hourly forecast. Here we go. All right. Hourly forecast for Monday. Looks like Monday, 7 a.m. It's going to feel like minus 15.
That sounds like they might cancel school.
Yeah.
Just, putting that out there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I look at the forecast and I see it and I remember what happened last year and I'm just like, this is probably gonna happen, but of course the school won't say anything until probably Sunday night, Monday morning.
Oh, you'll be lucky if it's even then.
Yeah, but I already got it off. No water off my back. We'll just play some more Lego Star Wars, or we got a new Minecraft 1-block mod, which is called a Lucky Block, but so far has been unlucky. So with a 1-block you get a random like block, but at least they're like, kind of like themed, where grass or stone.
Please expand on what a 1-block mod is.
Okay, so Minecraft 1-block is a 1-block mod where you literally start with just one block floating in the sky.
Okay.
You mine that block and another one automatically appears in the same spot.
Okay.
It could be another grass block. It could be a wood block. It could be stone, cobblestone, different mods have different blocks that show up. Uh-huh. But the idea is the fact that, starting with that one block, you could expand, you get whatever resource you mine from that block, and then another one appears. So then you could put down the block you just mined, and there's still the 1 block. So now you have 2 blocks, right?
Okay. Only one of which is infinite.
Yes. There's still only one infinite block, but you can keep on expanding and so on and so forth, which I find fun because it kind of it narrows down your focus of Minecraft. to, okay, we just, this block is the source of everything. So
Sure.
you don't have to worry about, zombies or, where am I going to find this? Or is there lava? Or there are hills? That sort of stuff. You just got to worry about not falling off.
Right.
Well, Isaac wanted a mod called a Lucky Block, which he had seen in some Minecraft YouTuber video. And so this one, rather than, it could still just give you just stuff, but then other things could randomly appear, like animals. You could mine an animal out of the block, or, it would give you a whole bunch of gold, or, give you bonuses, that sort of stuff there. But we were mining one time, and then suddenly a whole villager's house appeared right where all of our stuff was, and it overwrote all of our stuff.
Oh, no.
So it's like, okay, well, we have a house and it's got a bed and it's got chests and everything. It's like, okay, well,
But you lost everything that you had.
We had lost everything that we had mined so far, but like, okay, well, that's not too bad. And then the next time we mined the block, it sprouted a TNT block, which then promptly blew up the house.
When it blows up the house, is all the material still there? Like you can rebuild the house?
No,
it destroys all the material.
It destroyed all the material. So now it's like we have a blown out house. At that point, we're just like, I just look at Isaac, and Isaac looks at me and he's like, "Daddy, I think I'm just going to delete this world." And I'm just like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea."
Yeah.
Let's just delete this one and start over again. Yeah, let's try over again.
Maybe a different mod.
So he's been playing that one, and it's just been ridiculous things. It's just hilarious though, where you're just mining a block, all of a sudden this giant tree appears, and you're like, "Oh, well, we've got wood." Now I gotta mine this whole tree down. Or what was it? There was a block of ancient debris appeared above the normal block. So it's like, okay, well now I have to mine this ancient debris in order to actually get back to the normal block, which mining ancient debris by hand takes forever.
I didn't know there was such a thing as ancient debris in Minecraft.
Yeah, it's in the Nether. It's a resource that you can use to make netherite. Don't ask me beyond that, because I have yet to actually get to the Nether in any of my games, because going to the Nether requires obsidian, which requires lava, which requires diamond pickaxes, which require diamonds, and I have yet to actually find diamonds in any of my normal games.
Really?
Yes.
Like at all?
Yeah, like at all.
Interesting. Like I know diamond is rare. I didn't think it was that rare.
Well, I'm still getting new to this whole Minecraft thing, even though, I've been playing it for like a year now.
Yep.
It's not really one of the top priority games. It's kind of like
wasn't.
I'm trying to just focus myself on like 2 or 3 games to be like the games to focus on at the moment. Get those done as much as possible and then move on to something else, rather than leaving a whole bunch of half-finished crap everywhere.
Yeah.
So
we should probably talk about topics. Although,
yes.
Lions lost.
Oh, yeah. Well, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers would kind of do that to a team as good as the Commanders.
Yep.
How much did they lose?
This was supposed to be their year.
Yes, this was supposed to be their year.
What the hell happened?
Well, to think about it, so normally, like Lions games, Lions always seem to, blow it in the fourth quarter. Didn't really happen this year, but I'm thinking the Lions this year were playing the long game. So rather than blowing it in the fourth quarter,
they blew it in the playoffs.
They blew it in the playoffs. So to take the analogy of a game, they took the analogy of the game and then just spread it over the whole year. So everybody was really excited. And then that last bit, you're like, what the hell just happened? Let's see. So how much did they lose by? Looks like they lost by 14.
Yep.
And they were supposed to win by 4. At least that's what Vegas had put the odds at.
Okay.
Win by 4. So
18 points.
18 points. That's 3 touchdowns. So 3 possessions, and they gave up 4 possessions. So yep.
I mean, that is assuming that they could have scored on each of those possessions.
Well, I know like 2 of those were interceptions in the end zone. So,
oops.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that's where the overarching, very simplified view. That's my take right there. It's hard to win a game when you give up
that many opportunities.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like they were so good in the season.
Yep. They had a week off and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders if they had lost to Minnesota, because then they would have been the 5th seed. They would have had to play somebody on the road and play somebody on the road again, which they were unbeaten on the road. Part of me thinks that might have been a better strategy. Granted, they wouldn't have had any rest, but look what the...
It's not like the rest did them a whole lot of good.
Nope. Well, there's always next year. If nobody poaches our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator, because I do believe
a thing that might happen.
Yes, because both of them are highly sought after right now. So we'll see.
Okay, but seriously, topics.
Yes, seriously, topics. But seriously, TikTok is currently non-existent.
That is a very U.S.-centric view of things, Andy.
Is it open in other places?
Andy, why would a U.S. ban on TikTok
block them from everywhere else? You're right.
There is no TikTok in the U.S.
Yes, that is true.
And that may change in like 2 days. New president takes office on Monday. We'll see what happens.
He could put an executive stay of 90 days in order to let them find another buyer.
Or, just say, we aren't going to enforce this.
Can he do that, though? Because it's an actual law.
I mean, it's an actual law, but the legislative branch is responsible for making the laws.
And they are currently both controlled by the Republicans.
No, that's not where I'm going.
Okay.
What's the role of the executive branch?
Oh, to see that the laws are...
literally to enforce the laws.
Yeah, to enforce the law. Yeah.
So if the executive branch says, we're not going to enforce that one.
Well, that...
The only recourse would be like impeachment. That's not going to happen.
Nope. He didn't get impeached for turning an angry mob on the Capitol.
Right. Well, he did. He just didn't get convicted.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we shall see.
But yeah, there is no TikTok in the U.S. right now.
If you try going there, you will get a pop-up that says sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned.
It's just so weird to me to
word it like that.
Well, to the ban in the first place.
Yes.
Because yeah. I mean, there's a lot of concern about the data being sent over to China, but they're gonna get that some other way.
The question, the weird conspiracy theory tin hat thing that I had thinking.
Yeah, and ByteDance isn't a Chinese company. It's directly, sort of. It's complicated.
Yes, but they said that it need to be owned by some sort of U.S. entity.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the tech billionaires are on the Trump train right now.
Yeah.
So do you think they're kind of pushing for TikTok to get bought by another Elon Musk type who can kind of direct it? Yeah, direct and tweak the algorithms.
Turn it into a propaganda machine?
Yep. I know it's a crazy tin hat conspiracy sort of thing, but it just...
I don't think that is that might be the reason for some people to have pushed for this. I don't think that's what Congress meant or intended.
No, it's probably not.
It's pretty tin hat.
Well, I know. It's one of those things where it's just people talk a lot, and it's just dude, we got to just see how this plays out. It's a lot of speculation right now, and it's we got to see how this one plays out. I
mean, I don't like that.
No.
I don't want to have to wait and see. That feels like a bad way of doing this. Just wait.
I'm just tired of trying to keep up with just that flurry of noise.
Which flurry of noise? TikTok or Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
Oh, I mean, too bad.
I know.
Next 4 years?
Yep.
We're going to have to put up with it for a while. All right. Speaking of tech bros, Elon, Mr. Musk.
Yes.
And his space agency.
Ah, yes. SpaceX. Well, after delays, Starship Flight 7 got off the ground.
Uh-huh.
And there was another successful booster catch.
Yay! That's 2.
Yep.
They've caught 2 of the 3?
Yes, 2 out of the 3.
Okay. I will say the top of the booster was a little singed from that hot stage.
Well, it is still that's still a block 1 booster.
Yeah.
They haven't done the block 2 yet, and the block 2s, because that hot ring is basically an add-on.
Yeah, it's not part of the design.
No, it's not part of the design of block 1.
So that's why it fell separately.
Yes.
And apparently reached a terminal velocity greater than Mach 1.
We got a boom from the hot ring.
They had a sonic boom from both the booster and the hot ring.
Oh, that's funny.
I didn't know things could have a terminal velocity greater than Mach 1.
Well, when you're coming back from space.
Yeah, my guess is it had downward speed already. Like, there's no way that in free fall can something in free fall reach Mach 1. What does Google say? Yes, an object in free fall can reach Mach 1 if it falls from a high enough altitude where the air resistance is significantly reduced.
Yep, which space.
Yeah. Oh, as demonstrated by Felix Baumgartner.
Oh, yeah.
He broke Mach 1 in free fall on his jump.
I love that when he jumped, he didn't even really jump. He kind of just
he just walked off.
He just walked off the edge.
I mean, you don't really need to jump when you're that far up.
Nope.
You're not going to get much from it.
So, yes, so they caught the booster. The actual Starship, though, the V2, this was supposed to, or Block 2, I don't want to say V2 when I'm talking about rockets. That's just...
That's a very different kind of rocket.
Yeah.
And we just lost the entire British listening population, both of them.
So yeah, this was the Block 2 upper stage. Looks like it didn't last very long. Less than 9 minutes.
It exploded.
Yep. Over Turks and Caicos, Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico, because everybody got video of it because it looked like a freaking meteor shower.
It did not look like a meteor shower that I've ever seen.
Well, it looked like if you took the entire night of meteor showers and did it all at once.
Yeah, in a concentrated area.
Yes.
It looked like something falling out of space.
Yes.
And burning up in the atmosphere.
Yes.
Like all of them, like apocalypse type movies.
Mm-hmm.
The asteroids coming through and meteors striking. Yeah. There was apparently a fire on board.
Oops.
There was a vent that got overpressured and could not release the leak fast enough, and so then the leak ignited, and then poof.
Well, that's too bad, because that now means that their FAA is going to require
an investigation.
Yep.
I mean, good. Like, that's
yes.
what we should do.
Yes. I kind of feel bad, though, because this was the flight that NASA had taken their special Gulfstream jet and flew it over to Australia because they wanted to get some nice high-res photos of Starship coming back through the atmosphere.
It did not make it to Australia.
No, it did not. That's why when you sent me the first picture of it, I saw the, plane wing and all the debris. And I was like, that must be NASA's.
They got the shots of it.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
No, they didn't. Wrong part of the world.
Yes. Wrong hemisphere? Are there there's got to be Eastern Western hemispheres, right?
I mean, there's an arbitrary Eastern Western hemisphere.
Yes.
There absolutely is. It's the prime meridian. It goes through England.
Yep.
It is fully arbitrary. Fun fact, the United States is in both of them.
Oh, because of, is it American Samoa?
Nope.
Guam?
Nope.
Marshall Islands? No. Do we have Marshall Islands?
You are way too far south, sir.
Oh.
There's your hint.
Oh, Alaska?
Alaska! That last little teeny chain of islands in Alaska crosses the hemisphere line.
Does it? Really?
So it is the farthest east state in the country.
Oh, look at that. All right, so there's American Samoa. Where is the line compared to American Samoa? Oh, Samoa is on one side of the line. American Samoa is on the other. Really? That's arbitrary.
The whole thing's arbitrary. Of course it's arbitrary.
Oh. Do I get points, though, for knowing that American Samoa was right next to...
Was like right on the line?
Yeah.
I'll give you points for knowing where American Samoa is, because I don't know that I could point to it accurately on a map.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I definitely could not point to it on a map.
It is UTC -11, so it is the last inhabited time zone in the world.
There's Samoa and American Samoa. It's like hanging out there in the middle of the Pacific.
Man, the island is looks like less than 25 kilometers from the date line. That... It is right next to the date line.
Yep. What's on Samoa? What language do they speak in Samoa?
What is that language? I think it's just Samoan.
Is Samoa, they have their own language? It's Samoan?
I think it is Samoan, yes. Samoan is Samoan Polynesian language spoken by the Samoans on the Samoan Islands.
Okay. I like to imagine there's a me that would do that. That would be like, yeah, sure, I'll take my sabbatical and go to Samoa. Why not?
Hey, just hop over to American Samoa right across,
No, can't do that.
You can't hop islands?
I mean, I can hop islands, but American Samoa is not a country I've never been to before.
Because it's a U.S. territory, yeah.
Because it's part of the United States.
All right, now let's see. What is the most remote country?
Like the country that is furthest away from other countries?
Yes.
Probably... Whoa. I mean, Samoa's got to be pretty high up there on the list.
Nauru, the island nation of Nauru.
Where is Nauru?
Well, it's nowhere near anyone. Tiny island country in Micronesia, northeast of Australia.
They have an OMG sushi restaurant and the Bay restaurant, and the entire island is like 3 miles wide.
Hold on, I'm going to do a quick random.
It's about 5 miles. It's about 5 miles wide.
Doing some quick things. It says total area is 8 square miles-ish.
Measuring along the long side of the island, it's 3.7 miles long.
Oh, I could have just looked on the Wikipedia page that says area, 8.1 square miles.
Yep.
So wait, can you even run a marathon on the island in a single loop or no?
Marathon is 26 miles.
Yes.
Pi r squared, call r 1.5, so 2.25 times pi. Nope. The perimeter is like 7 miles? Let's just check that.
Yeah, it looks like it's if you take Island Ring Road.
You could do a 10-mile loop around the island.
So you would have to do over 2 loops of the whole island.
To run a marathon. There's a monument here called Twin Guns, which I have a feeling is left over from World War II, and also I have a feeling is just here so that it can be like a Pokestop.
Oh, did you see that McDonald's now are Pokestops?
Yep.
Like the actual restaurant?
Yeah, they have been for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
or at least the McDonald's out here was.
Yeah, it took... Because, sometimes McDonald's would have something like a mural inside is the Pokestop or something like that, but now it's the actual...
no, they have a deal right now.
Yep. Well, yeah, because the Poke cards are going in the Happy Meals starting on Tuesday.
Ooh.
So...
Have you seen these giant Pokemon card vending machines?
Yes. Have you seen the pure chaos that is the current launch of the Pokemon cards?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. It is pandemonium.
Why is it pandemonium?
Well, because a lot of places are not putting limits on how many packs and how many booster boxes and ETBs and everything people are allowed to buy.
Okay.
So there were times where people literally pulled up to Costco and bought the whole pallet to try and resell them.
Ah, so like scalping.
Yes, the scalping on this Pokemon stuff is going crazy.
I see.
Which some of the local card shops now are like, look, if you buy it in the store and you allow us to cut the cellophane, we will sell it to you at, MSRP. If not, it's going to cost you more. And there's one I saw there. It's like, look, we will actually give you a discount if you actually rip these in the store. If you actually open the packs in the store, we will sell it to you at a discount. But if you just buy the sealed up box, it will cost you more. So there are people trying to
doing
there are people are trying to fight it, but still, it's just the scalping on these new Pokemon cards is going crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad I'm playing Pocket and I got Isaac into Pocket because he's fine. Just go, I'll just open another pack. Okay.
I get packs for free every day.
2 packs.
I don't need to go buy a thing at the store.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's still new, so he doesn't. If it's a holo, he's happy about it. So.
I was just talking to someone about, like, trying to remember how old I was when I would walk down to Ryder's Hobby Shop. So, like, my mom and I, like, my family would go to, like, Espresso Royale on Main Street as a cafe. Like, we'd go out for coffee, we'd sit, we'd read books, et cetera, and I'd get bored as fuck.
Of course.
So I'd be like, can I go over to Ryder's and, like, look at their stuff and buy Magic cards? And they'd just let me walk over there and go in and, like, look at models and then buy Magic cards. And I was trying to remember how old I was when I would do that. Like, when was I into Magic?
I don't know.
It had to be like middle school.
Probably. I got into I remember the Star Wars TCG.
Yep. God, I loved the Star Wars TCG.
I did too, and then it just never went anywhere, and I was sad.
Yeah. Well, because it was competing against Magic.
Yes.
And if you're competing against Magic, you're not competing.
No. And then somehow Pokemon comes in and goes apeshit because it's Pokemon.
Because it's Pokemon, and because Pokemon had an entire media empire.
Yep.
Where were we? We were talking about
TikTok?
SpaceX.
Yes.
The ship blew up.
Yeah, so the ship blew up. So there will be...
It's like the least topic intensive RA podcast in a while.
We'll talk about everything that is not a topic.
Yeah. SpaceX. Starship blew up.
Yes. So there will be another launch investigation, but the booster did land. So that's, a good plus in there. But somebody's got to figure out the issue with the Block 2 because you see, it seemed to have gone backwards.
It went kaboom.
Yep.
According to a tweet from Musk, like they already have figured out what it is and what to do about it.
Okay.
So, fail forward.
Yeah, no, it's a big honking rocket.
Fail forward fast. Seems there to be their motto.
In other SpaceX news, it turns out that, not because it kind of got buried under, Starship.
Yeah.
But a Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from Kennedy Space Center and actually deployed 2 commercial lunar landers. So 2 separate landers from 2 separate companies, 2 separate countries, both launched off the Falcon 9 and are both going to be hitting the landing on the moon.
Are on their way to the actual moon?
Are on their way to the actual moon right now. There is one from Firefly Aerospace out of Texas and iSpace out of Japan.
Was this off of a Heavy?
No, it's just off of a regular Falcon 9.
And it's going to the moon?
Yes.
I guess if you don't need to worry about, like, bringing oxygen and water and a way to get back, you don't need to send quite as much.
Well, yeah. I mean, Musk showed that by shooting his frickin' car to Mars.
Well, but that was the Heavy.
Oh, that was the Heavy, wasn't it?
That was the debut of the Heavy, was the Tesla Roadster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just amused because, like, when I think about sending something to... I guess, like, it makes sense. Like, we didn't use a Saturn V to just, like, put probes on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, cool that they are putting more rovers on the moon. Getting there is one thing. Coming back is a whole other game.
Yep.
Is that kind of what it is?
Director of the NASA science missions for SpaceX said it made sense to put them on the same rocket. When we have 2 missions that can each go to the moon on the same launch, that is something we obviously want to take advantage of.
Well, yeah.
It was a no-brainer to put them together.
A pretty specific launch window if you're going to go to the moon.
Yes.
Right? The moon has to be in the right place.
And I mean, if you can carpool your way to the moon, I mean, why not?
I'm just having visions of these 2 rovers, like, fighting each other, though. Like, trying to sabotage each other in the payload.
Well, it looks like they actually got released in 2 different launch launch positions.
Because they're going to go to different parts of the moon?
It looks like they will take different paths towards the moon. Fireflies will spend about 25 days in Earth orbit, then 4 days in transit to the moon. After it enters lunar orbit, the ground team will verify the readiness of the lander's propulsion. Firefly's descent is tentatively scheduled for March 2nd.
Okay, so now put yourself in the, I'm an engineer on this project to go to the moon. We built a lunar rover. We built a robot that was going to go to the moon. It's on the ship. It's on its way to the moon. And there's another company's robot with it that's going to get there sooner.
Yes.
And you launched on the same ship.
Yeah, the Japanese lander will take 4 to 5 months to reach the moon.
Versus a couple days.
Yeah, versus 25 days.
So
30 days.
So 30 days versus 60 days? Or how long is the Japanese one taking?
4 to 5 months.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I wonder what the difference is.
I don't know.
You're telling me we could have been there in a month? New Glenn launched.
Yes, it did. It
successfully.
Successfully launched. They didn't stick the landing of the booster, but nobody really expected them to because it took 19 launches of the Falcon before they actually successfully landed the booster.
Yep.
So they got to orbit.
Yay.
Okay, so the New Glenn, 320 feet tall. Starship was, how tall is Starship? 404 feet tall. Just in case anybody wants to, compare rocket sizes. Payload is way different though. But still, good for them to get it launched because that means, there's more than just SpaceX available for launches.
I mean, it's still not great.
No.
But it's better.
Yes. New Glenn is capable of carrying 50 tons to low Earth orbit. That puts it between a Falcon 9 and a Falcon Heavy, because the Falcon Heavy can do 70 tons. So we shall see.
The Switch 2 was announced.
Yes, which I caught that pretty quickly, actually, during the announcement, because thank you, Australia, speaking of time zones.
Yeah.
That Nintendo Australia, were like, oh, we get to talk about it today? Quick, the calendar changed. Everybody go.
Guys, it's not. Oh my God.
So it hit the Nintendo Australia YouTube channel as soon as it was, that day in Australia. So of course everybody else wasn't there yet. But yes, it is the Switch 2 magnetically attachable Joy-Cons, a USB-C port, and a new button on the right Joy-Con, which we don't know what they do because wasn't any actual.
Because it's just the form factor announcement.
Yes.
That connector for the Joy-Con though, that's gonna break, right?
Well, since I don't actually own a Switch, if I remember correctly, you have to slide the Joy-Cons into the screen right now, right?
Yes.
So that seems like it would be a solid connection, right?
But the Switch 2 is different.
Yeah, it looks like it's magnets. So the magnets will pop it in, and it's kind of slightly recessed.
And it has a little thing that sticks out.
From the Joy-Con, yeah.
No, from the console.
No, the Joy-Con's got the thing that sticks out. The console's got a divot that will basically suck the Joy-Con into it.
For the data connection, though?
Hold on. I gotta see. Of course, I didn't post a link with, all the pictures. Hold on, let me find it. I think it was ours did actual comparison of the size and everything.
Here's the picture that will make you go wait, what?
Oh, there is, yes. You're right. It is a socket on the Joy-Con, so there will be a thing sticking out.
So there's a little pinhead, a header, sticking out of the Switch that is absolutely going to get broken.
Ugh.
I don't see a world where that does not get snapped.
No,
And if you're lucky, it doesn't get snapped in the Joy-Con.
Oh, boy.
Right? That's a bad idea. I don't know why they went with that. That feels like a bad choice.
I feel like you would have to have some sort of cover that you would have to pop into that spot whenever
you don't have the Joy-Cons on?
When you don't have the Joy-Cons on, yeah.
Yep.
If there is not currently a cover made for that, I feel like Dave.
Andy, what I need you to do. Get me some measurements and let's 3D print some covers. But like even with the Joy-Cons on, like I'd worry about the Joy-Con bending and taking that thing off.
Well, it depends on how strong the magnets are that suck that thing in.
They aren't going to be that strong.
No, they're not. Because you have to be able to remove it, right?
Right.
And you can't slide the magnets in that configuration. You have to pull them out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, there's a mouse holster for the Joy-Cons, it looks like, as well.
I haven't seen anything like that.
Hold on. Copy and paste if we're sending pictures back and forth on an audio podcast,
I think that's just the Joy-Con on its side, Andy.
Well, no, because if you look, the Joy-Con on its side, the Joy-Con is bigger than the little bump out. And this sits in something that's as big as the Joy-Con itself.
Okay. I mean, they have those with the current Switch. They're these thin little things that you like slide onto the Joy-Con so that you can use the Joy-Con rotated and it's got like the shoulder buttons on it.
I don't know. We'll find out more, what they said, April, I think?
Yeah, no, sooner. The actual announcement?
Yes.
I thought it was in February. I thought they're going to do a bigger announcement in February with the release in April.
It will share more information about the Switch 2 on its website at a later date and will provide a more detailed look during a Nintendo Direct on April 2nd.
Okay.
So, maybe?
So it'll probably be released late April, early May.
Yes. The nice news, though, is that Nintendo confirmed that the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible for physical and digital games.
Yep.
So in case you were wondering if you needed to, which one do I need to
I'm
buy?
wondering is why would I buy a Switch 2?
Well, you've already got probably all the new games will probably come out.
I have 2 Switches. Why do I need a Switch 2?
Do you think the new games that coming out are going to be... so you can play Switch games on the Switch 2, but will you be able to play Switch 2 games on the Switch?
Only if they release them for the Switch.
Yes. And is Nintendo going to do that?
Well, they did with Breath of the Wild.
Well, they'll probably do it for a while, right?
Probably do it for like a couple months, a year.
Release them in for both of them for like a year or so, and then...
Yeah, basically anything that was being worked on the Switch originally and then was moved to the Switch 2 will be released for the Switch. I do expect Metroid Prime 4 will only be on the Switch 2. Are you looking up Metroid Prime 4?
No, I'm still trying to find that article where they actually measured the size difference, because the preview video shows the original Switch and then it gets morphed into the Switch 2. So then people were actually able to compare sizes of everything.
Yeah.
And I still can't find the article, so whatever. Well, let's see. Other video game news. In not good news, Microsoft is actually doing 2 types of layoffs right now.
Oof.
Because they talked to Business Insider and said that last week they were going to cut people focusing on underperformer workers, and then later said that they announced another round of layoffs affecting staff in gaming, security, and sales, and that these were unrelated to the cuts announced last week. So there were already cuts announced, and then all of a sudden there was another announcement going, oh yeah, these people are also cut, but this is not because they're poor performance, just they didn't really say why.
It's just a rotten time to be in the industry from the sounds of it.
Yes. Especially since also Meta announced that they were cutting 5% of their workforce.
I am so glad that I don't have to worry about all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, 3,600 possible jobs getting cut over at Facebook.
Jesus Christ. And you know that there's a bunch of Facebook engineers who are sitting there going like, do I have a job? Like, do I come in next week?
The cuts will only affect staff eligible for a performance review.
Who's not eligible for performance reviews?
I don't know. I'm very curious about that statement.
Shouldn't all staff be eligible for a performance review? Maybe they mean like who are not actively in performance mediation, or performance review means something different there than it does everywhere else. We're like, we think you're not performing well, and therefore we will now conduct a formal review of your performance.
I don't know.
I don't know, because I get a performance review every 3 months.
Yep. Nope. I get them every 3 months now as well.
I say theoretically it's been like 9 months.
Nope. When you work for the state, there's a lot of bureaucracy of things that you have to go through. And a quarterly review is one of those things, which I'm actually...
Well, I'm supposed to have a quarterly review. It's just that I haven't had a quarterly review in 9 months.
Which reminds me, I think I should have one coming up right about now.
Nice.
Yep, this will be my last one, and then they will start looking at getting me set up for being on call. So, which they're like, would you
good or bad?
Well, I was basically on call at the last job for 10 years.
Yep.
And I was salary, so I didn't get paid for it. This one, I will get paid extra for being on call.
On call with overtime.
Well, not overtime. It is still straight pay, but still, I think it's 1 hour paid for every 4 hours on call.
Oh, like just by virtue of being on call, you're getting paid?
Yes, by
Holy shit.
By having my work phone next to me and
You're
being able to be on the road within an hour.
Damn.
Yes.
I wish I had that. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably talk about topics though.
How many topics have we talked about that have not been topics?
A lot.
But seriously, topics.
Seriously, topics. Okay, Microsoft, we talked about that. Meta, we talked about that. Okay, we're hitting some of them.
Yeah.
We're hitting some.
Oh, Sony, speaking of cutting things, Sony has canceled 2 live service games that still had not been announced yet. So the games hadn't been announced yet. No titles, no nothing has been talked about these games, but Sony says...
And Sony's like, we don't trust these enough.
Yes.
Is this another Concord type thing?
It looks like Blue Point and Bend Studios. So Bluepoint did a lot of remakes and remasters, and the other one developed Days Gone. So 2 live service games canceled without anything publicly being told about them, which is a little weird to say. It's like, yeah, those untitled projects that we didn't tell you guys we were working on, we're no longer working on them.
Though, that doesn't actually shock me. Like, based on what I know about the games industry, that's like business as normal. We sunk time into this. We put time and effort into making this game, but we don't like where it is or where it's headed. So we are going to accept the loss and close shop. And we're going to just try again with something different.
Does anything about this actually surprise you though, or no?
Just that they announced it. That's a little weird that they actually announced that they're canceling them.
Mm-hmm.
But there have to be tons of games that have been canceled that we don't know about because they were canceled.
Yeah.
They never got the chance to have a real day in court.
Other people cut. Allen Media. This was actually I heard about this actually because I'm still in, for some reason, a bunch of broadcasting groups on Facebook.
Because you haven't left them.
I haven't left them.
Don't say for some reason. You are the reason. It's hard to leave Facebook groups. I actually got to click the page and then go to the get rid of. And they show up anyway as my suggested things anyway, so whatever. But Allen Media owns a bunch of TV stations around the U.S. They also own the Weather Channel. Okay.
So they decided...
TWC, the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel, yep.
Okay.
So they have decided that having local TV weathermen and having the Weather Channel is redundant. So they have gotten rid of all of the local weather forecasters in most of their TV stations.
But the Weather Channel is big national weather.
Yes. So they are going to either keep a couple of them and move them down to Atlanta, or they're going to hire other people, but they're going to have a handful of weather forecasters who are going to do basically regional forecasts for the TV stations, all of the local TV stations that Allen Media owns in that area. So yeah,
This feels like a mistake.
Yeah.
This feels like a money grab.
Because I can tell you for a fact that, I got that tornado warning on my phone. The first thing I did was pull up the app for the local TV station and had that running on my laptop. So I could see exactly what the weather person is, showing me on the TV. And they know the areas and they know the weather. So they can say, okay, the tornado is heading this way. And they just start listing off all the towns. They're like, okay, these are the towns that are going to be in line of this one. This town, this town, this town. This town, you have about 20 to 30 minutes. This town, this town, this town. You guys are at 45 minutes. This town, this town.
Get out now.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there going what a regional... weather person.
Well, yes and no, because they're gonna have maps.
Yes.
So they might not be listing the towns off from memory, but they're gonna have maps.
Yeah.
It won't have like the local resource, like, the people who are at the Quick Trip on this road and this road, like, you should get out of there. Like, that won't happen, but that doesn't need to happen.
I still just regionalizing the weather from a local station. I feel like that's like local weather and local sports are the two things that you actually would turn on the local.
On how local is local.
Yeah.
If this is like local as in the Ann Arbor metropolitan area versus local as in Dexter.
Or it's, the Ann Arbor local area versus the Metro Detroit area.
Sure, that's a third layer then.
Because Ann Arbor and Detroit are actually technically two separate media markets, technically, but that line gets very blurry when you talk about, regional things in the area.
Yeah, understood. Makes sense. Excuse me.
Oh my.
Oof, bit gassy.
Well, anything else on here you want to look at?
Nah.
Okay, because it's getting late. I would like.
Yep.
So,
what is the review, sir?
Random review. This was a game I picked up from either the Epic free game or Prime free game or something like that. It's a game called Super Crazy Rhythm Castle. It is a Konami rhythm game, which that's a good pedigree, right?
I mean, DDR was Konami, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, and
published by. But.
Yes. So, it's a rhythm game. It's actually, you can actually do it as a co-op game as well. So I feel like having played there are some of the levels where you have to play it as a co-op, and the game kind of makes fun of you if you're playing it by yourself. They're like, oh, you're by yourself? Well, we'll take pity on you and give you this, like, I think
that's so mean.
Yeah. It gave, I think at one level, it gave me a dog to do the second player part. Cause it's a rhythm game. So you have to, you have to hit the buttons, kind of like Guitar Hero, where you got to scroll thing down and then you got to hit the buttons when the stuff shows up. But that's just the basic of it. All these levels have like puzzles and other things you have to do. There was one where all the right notes would give you bonuses and all the wrong notes would give you these like things that would lower your score, and that would appear on one half of the screen. And then the other player would have to go around grabbing the bonuses and trying to avoid the negative points. There was one where it was a rhythm thing, but you had to feed like fruits. No, you had to feed like broccoli or cabbage. I don't remember which one, but you had to feed like vegetables to this plant to summon it to create some sort of like super pesticide. It's very wacky.
Like, what the fuck are you describing?
Yes, I know. It is very wacky. There's one point where you have to cover meat people in gravy. So yeah, it's very kooky. It's kind of like Katamari sort of kooky, but still also, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very crazy. Okay. But I feel like it would be better as a co-op rather than just as a solo game. The other problem is the fact that because, I like rhythm games. Rhythm games are fun. The music is good. I like the music as well. I was actually trying to see if I could find the soundtrack for this thing, but the soundtrack didn't have all the songs that were in the game, which was kind of annoying, where it's like, come on, I really like this song. Why is it not on the list? But as I say, there was like times there where I'm doing the song and I'm doing the song great, but of course I can't throw the beans correctly at the plant in order to get the summoning ritual to work correctly. Or, I'm playing by myself, and so the computer co-op is just blowing his half of it. So I can't get the 3 stars that I need to do in order to advance the game. To
progress.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need to start teaching Isaac how to play rhythm games.
No.
I mean, that sounds like the clear answer to me.
So
time to pull out Guitar Hero.
We actually have the Guitar Hero on the Wii and on the 360.
Yeah. Or hook up Beat Saber. Start getting that rhythm built up.
So it's available on multiple platforms: Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. And it's $20. And I feel like it would be a fun little party thing to have.
It would act as a party game. I guess if you could do like DDR or Rock Band as a party game, this would too.
Yes, this would be along those.
That kind of rhythm game where there's a clear stop and start.
Yes, there are individual levels for the songs.
Okay.
So
when I think of rhythm game, I think of Crypt of the Necro Dancer. That would not be a good party game.
No, probably not. But yeah, no, but $20, it's just like, it's part of me is like, I'm glad I got this for free, because if it was $20, I would not have purchased it.
Yeah.
So
good, but watch for it to go on sale.
yes. And play it if you've got friends, because playing it by yourself.
That's so mean of the game.
I know.
Like, oh, no friends? Like, what the fuck, dude?
I know. I read that. I'm like, really? You're dogging me because I'm playing the game by myself? Really?
Shaming me for playing video games by myself? Maybe I have a hard time making friends.
I just wanted to try out your music game because it had good songs. But if you're going to be all mean about it...
Are the songs made for the game, or are they
I think
licensed?
They're made for the game.
Okay.
I don't know if they are or not, but they sound good.
Cool.
Like I want to get the full soundtrack. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you for that.
There actually is a super crazy Rhythm Castle Spotify playlist that has a bunch of the songs in there. So that could, just listen to the music. If you like it, sure.
Yeah.
If you like rhythm games, but this is like rhythm games with a twist. There you go.
All right.
Random topic. Rolled ahead of time. How expensive would it be to build a working HO model train set from Andy's house to David's house? The question now...
I had to look this up. An HO scale,
yes,
is the H0 scale.
Oh, H0 scale?
It's either. Okay. It's either. It's HO or H0. It is a 1 to 87 scale. It is the most popular scale of model railway in the world.
All right, so here's the question.
We're going from Andy's house to my house.
Yes, so we're going from Kalamazoo to Madison. So the question is, do we loop around down towards Chicago, or do we do a little bit of a historical twist and go up to
north?
Go up to Muskegon and take the ferry from Muskegon to Milwaukee?
Well, I feel like the train, in the spirit of the question, to build a working HO model train set from Andy's house to David's house. Okay, and in the genie way of looking at this as a wish, nothing says that the train has to run from your house to my house. So you could just build an HO model train set at your house and bring it to my house.
Okay, so how expensive would it be to build a working HO model train set from my house to David's house?
I mean, you can get train sets for $300.
In case anybody was wondering, there was James May of Top Gear fame.
No one was wondering, by the way, but go on.
He did was it Toy Stories? James May's Toy Stories, where he would do things like that, where he built a life-size model airplane.
Life-size model airplane.
Yeah, so they had to
not just an airplane?
Well, no, because it was building a model airplane. You know how all of the pieces are in that grid?
Yeah.
They actually built a full-size grid of the pieces.
A 1-to-1 scale.
Yes, it was a 1-to-1 scale model airplane. He built bridges out of erector sets.
Nice.
And then there was an episode. He built a racetrack out of a slot car racetrack. And then, yes, did an episode where he tried to make a model railway line that lasted, how far was it supposed to go? It was supposed to go 180 miles. And he tried to build that using model railway stuff.
Okay.
And it failed miserably.
Well, the power isn't going to be able to power it across the entire line.
No.
You're going to need to have multiple power inputs.
Well, it was also the fact that they tried to, even just getting model trains to work that far. All the model trains just basically broke down due to just wear and tear.
Really?
Yes.
See, that shocks me. These trains should be able to go hundreds of miles.
The model train parts just couldn't handle it. So yes,
you're not going to run it fast is the thing.
No, they just ran it at their normal speed and it just didn't work. So yes, he did it one time in the first series in that he did a special where he basically got him and some Germans who basically lived building the world's largest model railway in Germany. He got them to help him out as well, and they did another train race with that. So there have been 2 episodes where people have
dedicated to this type of thing.
Dedicated to this specific type of thing. So if anybody's curious, James May's Toy Stories, possibly on Amazon, because I think they all have Amazon contracts now.
Okay.
But yes.
So the answer is, like, too much money.
Yes, it would be ridiculous. That's why I was saying if we get up to Muskegon,
But,
that
like,
could...
I'm saying that you'd have to build that onto the ferry.
Yeah.
You'd have to build a ramp that takes it onto the ferry.
Okay.
And you'd have to build a track on the ferry for it to go on.
Okay, and it would just sit on the ferry while the ferry would take the whole trip across.
And then it would have to reconnect on the other side of the ferry.
Yeah, that's history. I mean, for goodness sakes.
Okay, but where's the power, Andy?
Well, one of the trains, if I remember correctly, I think it was in the Great Train Race, they actually powered the train from the train itself. Or what? It was either that, or I think they actually had a guy, walking behind the train with, basically a cattle prod, touching the tracks. So it was powered. The guy was just walking with basically, batteries in a suitcase next to him, powering the track right where it was located.
So we have to pay someone to do that.
What, you're just going to send this model train off on its own? You're not going to follow it?
That's my assumption. That's what we're... the prompt is, build a working HO train set from your house to my house. If you have to be out there babying the train along, I don't think that's a working train set.
That I could just basically carry the train with me.
Right. If you're going to do that, then it's what I said, where it's you can just make the train set and then carry it or drive it from your place to my place.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be...
Your answer of being too expensive, though, I agree with, and it's 1 a.m. and
far too expensive.
I don't want to think about model trains.
This feels like one of those Google interview questions.
Oh, yes.
Right? How much would you charge to wash every window in Chicago? Probably $20 an hour. How much would it cost to build a working H0 model train set from Andy's house to my house? A lot.
Too bad
more
we can't,
than I have.
Too bad we can't modify something just to run on regular rails.
Yep. I mean, we'd also need to purchase land rights to run the set.
Yep. Unless build some sort of wheel so it's on the track, but it's walking, it's rolling. Yeah, but at that point, it's the same thing of just putting it in another vehicle. Yeah, no, these are all convoluted things, and this is ridiculous. It's late.
It's a crazy prompt, and it's very late, and Andy needs to go to sleep.
Yes, so...
Good night, Andy.
That's a wrap. This has been another episode of the Random Access Podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, corrections, suggestions, remarks, reviews, rebukes, retorts, or just rants, feel free to contact us. You can find us on Twitter at RAPodcast, or send us an email at mail@rapodcast.net. Thank you for listening.